So guys, we did it. We finally beat the procrastination and worked on the pitch for Spotify playlists. Now, what I want to do is walk you through the process that I went through to get to the pitch that I have. We are using Groover as mentioned in a video 2 days ago. What you see on the screen here are 6 key steps to get started using the Groover platform. Now, I'm not going to go through it. I already did a video on that. I have it linked in the description. What I'm going to focus on is number 3 here, which is write a short pitch for your track, giving contextual elements and indicating what your targets are. You can also add a personal message for each curator / pro for professional or music professional. Now here they added a link, more info on how to write the perfect pitch. And we are going to follow this rabbit hole down to the point until we get to me creating the pitch. So if you're interested in creating a pitch for your Spotify playlist outreach or playlist curator outreach, this is the video for you, man. Let's get into it. So when I clicked this link, I was brought here. And on this page, it says, write the perfect pitch for your campaign. So how to reach your target audience by explaining in detail your project and what you're looking for. Within your Groover campaign, once you have added the main information on your track, which is the name, link, and release date, and chosen the media outlets, radios, record labels, and pros that you want to contact, the last crucial step before validating your campaign is writing a good pitch for your campaign. Now, it seems here that writing a good pitch is the last step. However, I decided to start with writing the pitch since I will need it anyway. And I felt it's a good place to start. So here we are going to go through the few steps that they're giving us or few tips they're giving us to draw attention to our project. Now, the first here is detail what you're looking for. Start by asking yourself an essential question. What are you currently looking for? Is it media coverage? Is it finding a record label, a manager, a booker, getting advice and feedback on a demo? Is it all of these combined? That is something that you need to ask yourself. Whatever your answer is, you need to indicate precisely your situation and your expectations. This will help the professionals you're contacting adapt their answer to your situation and get in touch with you if they're interested in your artistic project. The next thing that this article told us is you need to adapt your pitch according to the contacts you have chosen. Now, personally, I'm using this platform to reach out to Spotify playlist curators. I want to get the song on Spotify playlists. I'm trying to run those streams up. So, are you currently looking for a record label to release your next EP? After a few shows, do you want to work with a booker? Is your focus more on gaining media coverage for your latest release? Answer these questions and then adapt your pitch according to that. Now, they go on to say, don't hesitate to adapt your ask and the information that you provide depending on the contacts chosen. For example, if you're contacting bookers, you can add info on your recent gigs or the date and location of your next one. Then here they give us another tip. Are you, well, it's part of the second tip, but it's more like just an addition. So it's, are you contacting media outlets, record labels, and music pros for different reasons within the same campaign? You can use the personalized messages to adapt your message to each contact. The personalized messages section is located just underneath the general pitch of your track. So what this has told me, remember, I've not used Groover. We are learning together how to use this platform. So what this is telling me is there's a general pitch that you create for the track, and then under each curator that you want to reach out to, or under each contact you want to reach out to, you can personalize a message. You can specify exactly what you want to tell this person that is receiving the message. So I feel like right now we are going to be working on the general pitch, which everyone is going to see, before we work on personalized messages, which we shall do if need be when we start the process of actually using Groover to reach out to these playlist curators. So we shall come back to this when we get there. So for now, you can just see how it looks. This is basically the interface that they're telling us how it will look when we are within the platform. So the third tip is be concise and informative. Now, personally, I thought that a pitch should be kind of wordy or a very, uh, ex, what's the word? I want to say a word, but I'm not sure it's English. Let me just stick on the safe side. I thought it has to have so much explanation. Apparently it doesn't. So here they're saying no matter what happens, the professionals you contact on Groover are going to listen to your song. So instead of describing your song, which I thought is the right way to go about it, from a sonic perspective, try to give them 1 to 2 pieces of information that are crucial to understanding your project best. So a few suggestions they gave us are the release date for your album slash single and the listening link. If you're sending a music video, its context of filming, if notable, your next show and or the locations of your latest gigs, a recent opening you did for a band you admire, support received for this release, whether it's crowdfunding or media coverage, and then major influences if relevant. Now they go on to tell us you should be careful not to write too much. So I know I was not alone in thinking that the pitch has to be verbose. You have to just like pour your heart into that thing. Just make sure they know about the song. Like screw listening to the song. They should just come and read the pitch. They will get the song. That's how I was thinking. However, here they're telling us try to focus on the 1 to 2 most important elements of your project that are the most likely to raise the interest of the professionals. 5 lines max. When I read that, I was like, these people have lost their minds. I'm trying to sell this song. I guess it also kind of speaks to my beliefs, my personal beliefs. I feel like maybe you need to say too much to sell something, which is not always right. So 5 lines max. They say it's an initial contact and their time remains limited. So you're trying to make a crazy fast impression, right? So I feel like that's what they're going for. It needs to be punchy. It needs to be memorable. So the final tip here they're giving us is don't forget to fully complete your profile and keep it updated. It's proof that you're serious about your musical goals, and I know you're serious because you're watching this video, and serves as an important source of information for the professionals who discover your song. It's also a way to add more information on your project than solely in the pitch. So if you ever need more help with your pitch, they give us another link. Check out this guide on how to pitch to playlists. And I just followed it, right down the rabbit hole, and I was brought here. So the header to this article says Spotify pitch example and how to pitch to Spotify playlists. So within this article, we were actually given pitch examples as well as what those pitches actually got these artists' songs. So what kind of playlist did these artists get on after they pitched their song like that? And really that is what shaped the way I wrote my pitch. And you'll see in a bit because I'm going to show you my pitch at the end. So here they are saying, I'm not going to read all this, forget it. I'm just going to focus on this text that has been put in bold. One way to increase your visibility is by getting your songs added to playlists curated by Spotify and other platforms. Boom. The first thing is how the big playlist game works on Spotify. So here they're saying, first of all, it's essential to understand what Spotify playlists are and how they work. So playlists are a collection of songs grouped together based on a theme, genre, mood, or occasion. They're curated by Spotify's in-house editorial team or independent music curators. So if you're new to music, maybe you think you need to only fight for visibility on the editorial Spotify playlists. Those are created by Spotify themselves. But there are so many people who are creating playlists out here. You yourself can create a playlist and it can go viral, right? But we all focus on, oh, it's created by Spotify. They are going to tell us more here. And it actually blew my mind when I read this. Playlists can have tens of thousands, sometimes millions of followers, and getting your music added to one could open doors to new fan bases and revenue streams. So we see here a LinkedIn post by the founder and CEO of Spotify. He says, if you ask people what differentiates Spotify, one of the things they always cite is our playlists. But not all of the great ones are created by us. In fact, there are 8 billion user curated playlists on the platform. That's the beginning of your mind blowing. The next thing, with 725 million created since the beginning of last year, 2024 alone. Fun fact, this one just left me like I was gone. The country in the world that makes the most playlists per user is South Korea. I bet you didn't know that. For sure, you didn't know that. 50% more than any other. That is wild. To me, at least. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. To get your song considered for a playlist, you need to submit it for consideration. Spotify has its playlist submission system where you can submit one unreleased song at a time. So we did this already in a video. I don't think our song got playlisted. I honestly didn't follow up. And also my streams say a lot. Like I have 3 streams. Let me just show you right now. This is the live stream. My song dropped 7 days ago. I have 3 all-time streams. This is not a playlisted song. If it is, those playlists are trash. And I'm speaking to Spotify right now, which I don't believe they are trash. Spotify, I am open to collaboration if you want to collaborate. Anyway, back to the point here. You must have a Spotify for Artists account to submit your music. Apple Music also has its submission system. I didn't know this, so I just learned this when I was reading this article. And then there are also lesser known music distribution sites like TuneCore. I use DistroKid, TuneCore's competition, but that's a topic for another day. So here the second point is before submitting your music to playlists, you need to do your research on the type of playlist you're targeting. Spotify playlists cover basically all music, millions of songs in a wide range of genres and moods, from popular music to independent artists in niche genres like classical music composers, punk bands, electronic music producers, indie music singer-songwriters, and even podcasters. Look for playlists that match the style and mood of your song and submit accordingly. To be honest, I think this one is obvious. So you don't want to be putting out a hip hop song on a pop playlist. Like, if I was Spotify, I would ban you on the platform. Like, what are you doing? You don't care about this thing. So finally, the audio quality of your song is essential, right? For calm background music and attention grabbing hyper pop alike. Spotify and other platforms have strict guidelines on the sound quality of the music they accept. So make sure your song is well mixed, well mastered, and ready for playback on high quality headphones and speakers. So make sure you have your producer on the line. Tell him that song needs to be fire. Or if you produce, man, big up to you. I want to be like you when I grow up. Number 3, how to write a Spotify playlist pitch. When you upload your music to music services, you need to provide a compelling pitch that sells your music. The pitch should be brief. This is the second time they're telling us. Remember the other one, they said 5 lines max? It should be brief and to the point, highlighting what makes your music unique. Start with an attention grabbing hook. You're going to see some of that. And it was honestly inspired by the examples they gave. So don't drop off now. Keep watching. Trust me, it pays off. Here they're saying the pitch should be brief and to the point, highlighting what makes your music unique. Start with an attention grabbing hook and then describe your music's genre, mood, and any notable features like live instrumentation, lyrics, or production. To be honest, when I read this, I was like, 5 lines? Like, what do you mean 5 lines and I'm supposed to describe the genre, mood, any notable features? It didn't make sense to me. That was just my honest reaction when I read all this. Anyway, they go on to say, make sure you show done your homework on digital. What? Make sure you show done your homework on digital stream music services. You're asking to help distribute your music. Getting details wrong. Okay, I'm going to read it how I think it should have been written, because this one, make sure you show light bulb. What are they? Make sure you show that you've done your homework on the digital music services you're asking to help distribute your music. That's how they should have written it. Groover, that's how it should have been written. You know I have love for you. Getting details wrong, especially things like submitting your new album to the wrong playlist, is a bad look that's hard to come back from. First impressions. Any appearances in music news should be noted here. Creators who've signed with a major record label will be competing for the same space as unsigned artists on these music platforms. So independent artists should use any promotional advantage they can. If you've gotten previous press, let them know. Now here I was a bit conflicted because, number one, the whole 5-line thing, I feel like this is a lot to put within 5 lines. But also, when I was submitting my song to the Spotify editorial playlist before it was released, I was actually asked, like, what kind of promotional activities am I going to put into the song? And I didn't highlight them, but here it speaks to that a bit. It's like, so independent artists should use any promotional advantage they can, right? So I feel like there's an importance to it. They want to know that you're actually putting in an effort to push your song and get more traffic to it. So I feel like that's pretty important. They're saying if you've gotten previous press, let them know because it matters to them. And then I feel like it's because, well, if they're going to promote your song, you must also, you might as well be doing something on the side. It's not just on them, it's your music, right? It's their platform, but it's your music. Yeah, so make sure your pitch is tailored to the playlist you're submitting to. If you're submitting to a hip hop playlist, focus on your lyrics and beats. If you're submitting to a classical music playlist, highlight your compositions. If you're an indie artist, highlight your songwriting. I mean, I'm an indie artist, but also I do hip hop. I'm trying to, be a genre bender, just do whatever genre I want. But that's basically where I'm at right now. So for me, this hip hop thing and then the indie artist thing hit home. And then here they're like, if you're a producer, mention your mastering. You get the idea. Then here they say the pitch you write will also be useful to run your Groover promotion campaigns. Stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, you need to do that right now because we are documenting the whole process. There's nowhere on the internet you're going to find a series of videos just showing you, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. In fact, I'm not telling you do this, do this. What I'm doing is doing. I'm doing it and then showing you, and then you choose what to do. The next thing here is get in touch with journalists, blogs, and radio programmers. Then be specific and avoid vague cliches like catchy or uplifting when you upload music for curation. We all know we've done that. Like my song is catchy. It brings out all the emotions. Okay, that even feels better than uplifting. Deep. They've seen these words 1,000 times. That's basically what they're trying to tell you. You can also include any previous achievements or accolades like chart positions or awards. However, don't overdo it. Keep it relevant and concise. Again, they say concise and then they tell you to add all these things. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. I love you, Groover. 4. Best Spotify pitch examples. I copied each of these pitch examples, there are two, and put them in my Word document, which is right here, so that I could just have a reference as I write my own pitch. You're going to see that. But basically here they're like, here are two Spotify pitch examples written for artists supported by Groover Obsessions that have successfully landed, excuse me, in multiple editorial Spotify playlists. Editorial Spotify playlists, remember, are those created by Spotify. Keep that in mind. So I'm just going to skip past that very quickly so that you can just see where that pitch landed them. In fact, I think that's the wrong strategy. Let's just read through the pitch, man. A Blue Sky. No, it starts with Spotify pitch example for the song Superficial by Victor Mechanic. I liked this when I read it. This Mechanic name, it's sick. I like the name. A blue sky, the sun, the desert, and the road, the speed! Exclamation mark. Superficial is like a road trip in South Texas between El Paso and Marfa. For the very first seconds, Victor Mechanic takes you into this sunny and liberating universe, far from being superficial. Wow. A little up-tempo indie pop gem produced by Aidan Jodorowsky. This new song, sorry, I might have butchered your name. This new song will not leave you indifferent and will even make you want to know more. Deep. This pitch landed the track in this Spotify playlist. Feel Good on Spotify, New Music Friday France, Spotify, Made in France, Spotify, Nouvettes Cube Music. If you speak French, just leave a comment. I don't know how you're going to show me how it's pronounced. I challenge you to. So actually listen to it. I could listen to this if I catch me at the right time in the right mood. I can listen to this. I'm not going to play it for you though. Sorry. Let's find the other one. Second pitch, Spotify pitch example for the song Criminal by Storm Orchestra. Man, these guys' names were crazy. Like I was just reading, I was like, who named you? You know? This is fire. This is fire. I like the names they use. So in the tradition of conscious rap, that hooked me because I was just like, a rap group called Storm Orchestra. That was judging the book by its cover. Well, not really, because they actually put it the tradition of conscious rap. Anyway, I'm going off at a tangent. In the tradition of conscious rap, Storm Orchestra aims to create a new fashion, the conscious mosh pit. You're hooked already. The band chose a profound and audacious track to unveil their first album, ironically called What a Time to Be Alive. Criminal evokes the despair of witnessing the criminal madness that humans are both guilty and victim of. The languid verses, I don't know how you say that word, to be honest. I don't know how to pronounce it. The languid verses give way to explosion, desperate choruses before a declamatory finale that ends in an exhausted heartbeat. Wow, deep. This pitch landed the track in these Spotify playlists. Top of the Rock. The fact that it's a rock thing now makes sense. Storm Orchestra, a rock band called Storm Orchestra. Storm Orchestra is hard. Top of the Rock, New Music Friday France, Spotify, Volume France, Spotify, All New Rock, Spotify. I don't know why they're all like popping up in France. Is there a market there that I don't know about? And this was also fire. Like the actual song itself was fire. So you could check it out, maybe show them some love. So I copied those and brought them into my Word document here. You're going to see secret tips that can make a difference. When you're drafting a pitch for your own music, remember to save it somewhere so you can consult it again after submitting, since you cannot review submissions once they've been sent. That's a key part. That's the reason I actually opened a Word document to do it. That way you can make changes for your next pitches or reuse successful ones. I like that last one, really good. If you've already got a fan base that you know will consume your music the second it drops, take steps to promote pre-saves and follows and collect data on how many of your fans listen to your music on release day to then show to the readers of your pitch. That's a good idea too. One of the music market hacks has long been to boost your music discovery and get people to listen to your music by collaborating with other artists. You can tap into someone else's fan base of music lovers in your genre. What's not to like? We all know that this music game largely is about collaboration. I mean, leave out the likes of like Nas, like J. Cole, they collaborate. But initially at the start, they were like doing it solo, dropping projects, full projects, just them, and they were killing it. I think that's like that's like look up at the sky type of vibes. Like they are up there when you that's what I mean by look up at the sky. But collaboration is the life blood of music. I enjoy collaborating. Like forget all this other stuff I'm saying. It's just enjoyable when you do it with your friends or with people that you like to work with. That's what collaboration is all about. Like I feel like music is best enjoyed in a group. There are also advantages to be had when it comes to streaming streaming music services. Even people not actively looking to discover new music might be able to discover you when searching for songs to listen to from their favorite musicians' new releases. For music online, a simple link from a partner music group has the potential to get you streamed more than a major label, right? So collaborate, be exposed to a new fan base, and really the cherry on top is when you pitch, you can have your collaborators submit the song as well to boost your chances of getting curators to listen. That is a 2-for-1 deal. Or depending on the collaborators, it could be 3, 4, 5. I've always thought those songs that have like 5, 6 collaborators are crazy. How? And you find the song is 3 minutes. Like, how? You guys were singing like one line each, 2 lines each. And me, I'm really just trolling because I've had some fire songs that have come from like a bunch of creators just getting on one song or a bunch of artists getting on one song. I think there's a Victony song I like that. I can't remember the title though. So, boom. In conclusion, in order for music from you to land on Spotify playlists, you've got to put in a little elbow grease. Once to get there, though, it means your music career is really taking off. That this beginning is a bit dicey. To write the perfect pitch for your song, research the playlist you're submitting to, tailor your pitch to match the playlist genre and mood, highlight what makes your music unique, and make sure your song is of high audio quality. They've really emphasized that, so I think you should take notes. With the right pitch and preparation, you can increase your chances of getting your music added to a Spotify playlist and reaching new audiences. Now, just imagine like drum rolls right there. To show my pitch, boom, okay, inspired by this. Now, remember how they were talking about adding your genre, what? Me, I just saw this too. I was like, yeah, I want my pitch to read something like this. I want it to read poetic, like when they read it, they should feel like, yeah, he's talking. So just a recap: a blue sky, the sun, the desert, and the road, the speed. I'm not reading the whole thing, man. In the tradition of conscious rap, Storm Orchestra aims to create a new fashion, the conscious mosh pit. Let's move on. You can always just pause and read for yourself. That is what inspired this. So Spotify pitch for the song Good Lord by yours truly. Like peering at your reflection on the surface of an ice cold plunge, or peeking over the edge of a cliff before a bungee jump. Mr. from Uganda shares the feeling of coming face to face with a decision, one bound to change life as you know it. Good Lord is an exclamation at the audacity to think you have what it takes to dream, plan, and execute towards your goals, no matter the cost. It's an ode to hope and faith. Bro, I am so proud that I didn't use ChatGPT. Like this was from my brain, you know. This was from my brain. I'll see you on day 19.